Alright, so I want to try making an agentic workflow using the tool that I built called Deployery. And let's just call it like personal or persona, whatever the hell I named it. But here I just essentially just made a sandbox. And what I decided I wanted to do was, I've never actually tried this before, but I want to make an agent be able to make a new Google slide, right? And so let me just log into Google Slides, for example. And I have nothing here because I don't use this, but now let's just change the theme in Deployery. Sorry. Let's just change it to this because it's nicer. And yeah, let me just install Claude so it's easier for us to work with. Trust. And then let me log in first. Okay, so I logged into Claude Code over here, and let me just set the model to something. Default is fine. And for Google Slides, I'm not really sure how to do this, so you'll sit through this with me, I hope. But essentially, I want to use the GWS CLI, which just came out. So Google Workspace CLI. And let's just say I want to do something like make Claude make a Google Sheet for me with all the info that came out today about AI. And it's going to do that every day. So let's try to do that. Hey, so can you build a workflow that's going to use Claude headlessly, Claude code, and it's going to go out and research all the new AI developments from the current date. So from today, every time that it runs. And the schedule is going to run every day, and it's going to use GWS CLI to put that into a Google slide. Let's see if my transcription here is going to work properly because it's running locally. Yeah, GWS CLI seems good. I'm actually going to set the model to be Opus, and thinking is enabled, and that's good. So it's going to use the workflow skill right here, which is pre-built with the Deployery. So it's trying to find the GWS CLI, which is pre-installed as well. And then I could actually give it a skill for slides, right? GWS slides, skill.md. But I think it might actually figure it out on its own. As you can see, schema, it's using the schema, just like this. So it's already figuring it out on its own. Now let's just see. Let's just see what it does. And so I have an example workflow here. I can try to run it if you guys want to see it. Let me just run it. And as you can see, it's gonna push it, and then it appears here, and it runs, and then it comes back to me that I got this input, and then I can do any other input like this. Bam, got this input. Really simple. This is how you make a workflow. And I can just delete this and delete this example too. And it's still trying to figure out the schema and stuff. Let's see, I've never actually even used GWS CLI. This is the first time that I'm using it, and yet, getting a report every day, like a presentation of everything that happened today, seems like an interesting use case. for people that are busy, you know, for people that, you know, just don't want to go on all these platforms and stuff. They just want to hand it off to AI to go off and summarize all that stuff. But I'm going to actually pause the recording, so I'll come back when it finishes the response. Okay, so it says, good, now I have everything I need. Let me build the workflow. The approach is use Claude-P headlessly to research today's AI developments and output structured JSON, and then use the GWS CLI to create a Google Slides presentation and populate it with the findings. And so I figured it out all on its own. I did no additional prompts except this first one, just by using the CLI over here. And it's gonna actually, it wrote the actual workflow, as you can see. And it's gonna try to run it, and as you can see, it pushed. And I wonder what output it's gonna produce. So it's presumably running Claude headlessly with dangerously skipped permissions and allowed tools. I do actually wonder if it has the tool to actually write. Model Sonnet, yep. So it's still running. I guess it's doing the web searches. But does it have file write permissions? Maybe it does. Let's see. It's still running over here, and it's waiting for it to finish running. Yeah, I'll just wait. There we go. The research step worked perfectly, it says. But the slide step failed because JQ isn't installed. Let me install it, and then it just runs the install command over here. It's installed. It also needs to fix some data format issue in the research step. Yep, sure. And then, actually, interestingly, it tries to pin the data, which is really good. It tries to pin the input to the create slides step, right? So that it doesn't have to rerun the AI again. So it's going to rerun the daily research. As you can see, it spins up over here, and I'll come back to you when it finishes. Okay, so it finished. The research step works great, and then it's checking the auth status. It's going to try to log in. Let me just authenticate on myself. Just going to use whatever it ran, GWS auth login, and make sure I'm not going to leak my email. Okay, so I did log in. I had a little bit of an issue here with my account. Oh, actually, wait, you can see, I just realized, you can see the Claude code runs that it did. Today's date is this: research all the major new AI developments, did the research, and then outputted it as JSON. That's really interesting. Okay, let's come back to this, and then let me authenticate because I already logged in with Google. There's the step, the project step, you know, call it like whatever the heck, but you know, personal. That is not actually Okay, well, I think it wants small letters. Okay, it's making the project. And then I probably should pause. Oh no, actually I didn't need to pause. Okay, so Google Sheets. There we go. And then credentials. Yeah, I don't know where to get this, so I'm just gonna ask Claude over here. Yep. Where do I get the auth client ID? Okay, so I logged in. I had to do some Google Cloud stuff, and yeah, let's try to run the research. Run the workflow. It's gonna start up. It says extra operand. Let's see. But I think it's still gonna run. Let me try to disable this and enable it again. It fixed it. Okay, no. Let me try to run this. And then I'm gonna actually go to a new conversation that is gonna research in. As you can see, it popped up here. And then, so it's running at, I presume this is 9 a.m. New York time every day. So it's researching. Wow, this is a long workflow. And it did it in one shot, essentially. If I didn't have to log in, do all this stuff, then yeah, as you can see, it came back with the developments, but it doesn't seem to be updating in the UI here. But it's completely fine. And it says presentation completed successfully. But is it though? Hold on. Let me go into my Google Slides. Reload this. I don't see anything yet. Let me just dump all of this into here. Good progress. Library, Google Slides API, click enable. Okay, let me do that. So it's really just me, just going and iterating, and yeah, I'm gonna have myself a good research agent right now after I do this. Okay, so I enabled the Google Slides API and the Google Drive API in here inside of Google Cloud. It's really simple. You just go here and search it, click it, and then press enable over here. But yeah, I don't think I need that anymore. And let's see, let me just run it again. I could pin the data, but probably not gonna. Yeah, just gonna research it again. Hopefully my limit is not gonna run out because it is quite literally at 100%. The weekly limit is, oh my god, there's no shot, bro. Let me try to do something real quick. Okay, so I magically got myself an extra percentage of usage. I magically did that. Oh, I just signed out accidentally. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, I signed back in. Limit. And as you can see, I literally have 99% weekly usage. And yeah, let's try to run this, I guess. I mean, I can change the model here to be haiku instead. And I think that's going to be better because it might actually last me. Yeah, let's try to run it. Sure. I think haiku should probably be able to handle it. And yeah, as you can see, it's spinning up. Let me check the history just now. And then it's doing web searches. Yep. Getting links and stuff. Apple hardware, Apple AI Siri. Pretty interesting, but it's saying March 2026. Okay, so I got the research data. Run completed. And let me just go to Google Slides, and yeah, you can see it right there. Bam, 6:47 a.m. for me. There you go. Briefing. It literally just been if. Okay, dude. I mean, you get the gist. You get the gist. You get the gist. If I actually had money, if I wasn't poor, I would have actually just used Opus and better models. But yeah, this is Deployery, a showcase of a platform that I'm making and I'm releasing really soon. So yeah, let me know what you guys think.